Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our English class. Before we start, I just want to ask if you can see a PowerPoint presentation. Is my video clear? Am I clear at your end?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, good. So before we start, may I ask IZ to please lead our prayer for today?
Yes, sir. Let us bow our head and feel the presence of the Lord. God, give us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the differences. Amen.
Amen. Okay, so thank you, IZ. Now let us start with our English class. So before we start, I remember that we have already finished our discussions about conjunctions, right? So now we are finally moving on to our brand new lesson. And our lesson for today is called Prepositions of Time. Okay, so first, before we start, let us first define what are prepositions of time. So prepositions of time are kinds of preposition that are used to modify specific periods of time, such as days of the week, seasons, years, or even time itself. Now, for you to be able to understand and distinguish these prepositions that we are talking about, we will be discussing. I will present to you different kinds of texts and passages, like for example, conversations or paragraphs that involved this preposition, so that you will be able to understand them properly. So I will be presenting the first uh, text, which is a conversation. So since there's only two of you in our class, may I ask the both of you to read the conversation? Bernadette will take Cassie's part while Izzy will represent Jane.
Hi, sir. Can we start?
Okay, go ahead, please.
Hello, Jane.
Oh, hi, Cassie.
I didn't see you yesterday in our math class. Did you leave early?
Yes, I left at exactly 10 o'clock in the morning since our relative visited us yesterday. We need to accommodate them.
Oh, I see. Did they arrive earlier than you expected?
Yeah, they were supposed to come at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, but I guess the traffic is not much of a problem even if it's weekdays.
Hmm. Anyway, that's great. I hope you'll spend some quality time with your relatives.
Okay, thanks. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, very good. Class, I appreciate your reading. So now that you have read the short conversation that I provided, can you give me your thoughts, or what are the things that you um, saw in the conversation? Let us start with Bernadette. Can you share your insights?
Um, Sir, I guess it was stated in the conversation that what they are discussing is about an event that already happened in the past.
Okay, very good, Bernadette. So Cassie and Jane were discussing about an event that happened in the past. So I will present this the first part of their conversation, and from this part we can already distinguish what they are talking about is already done, or will be it. The word yesterday is the indication that what they are talking about has already happened, which is yesterday. So what about IZ? What is your insight?
Based on their conversation, all of Jane's questions are answerable by indicating the time.
Okay, the primary ideas involved were focused on time frames. So can you maybe tell us what are these time frames that you are talking about? So here, what do you think is a time frame?
Um, at exactly 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock, the
Okay.
the answer of G. Yeah.
Okay, so 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock. So, based on what you have stated, what do you think is the preposition of time involved in this conversation?
Sir,
Okay, as Bernadette.
it's at.
Okay, at. And based on what your classmate said earlier, at is kind of used when we are talking about time. So just remember that the preposition of time at is used when we want to specify time frames and clock times. Okay, we are done with the first text. Now let us move on to the second one, which is a short paragraph. Can someone read the paragraph presented?
Answer.
Okay, I see. Go ahead.
On the 9th of August, which is on Monday, I will play video games with my brother. On August 10, on Tuesday, I will bond with my friends and catch up with them. On Wednesday, which is on August 11, I will celebrate my birthday. Tomorrow on Thursday, which is on the 12th of August, we will visit my grandparents. On Friday, I will treat myself for dinner. And on August 14 and 15, I will stay at home and rest.
Okay, thank you, IZ. So now that IZ have already read the paragraph, Bernadette, can you give me your thoughts? What can we digest from the paragraph that your classmate has read?
Sir, I noticed that the tasks are they're probably what the speaker wants to do. Basically, it was like planner or a schedule.
Okay, so it's a very keen observation because as we can see in the paragraph, there are lots of tasks or activities that is involved. Other than that, there are also days and dates that are involved in the paragraph. So what else? IZ, can you give your insight?
Sir, I think the activities mentioned in the passage are not yet happening in the present.
Okay, so all the ideas in the paragraph were discussing a time period that is not yet happening. So unlike the first text earlier, which involves things that happened in the past, this time the paragraph involves events which will happen later on or in the future. So what do you think is the preposition of time involved in this paragraph?
Sir,
Okay, IZ, go ahead.
the preposition of time involved is on.
Okay, so the preposition of time involved is the preposition on. So as you can see, these are the days and dates which on modifies on the 9th of August, on Monday, on August 10, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on August 11, on Thursday, on the 12th of August, on Friday, and lastly is on August 14 and 15. Okay, so like what IZ said, the preposition of time on modifies days and dates based on our paragraph. So the preposition of time on is used when we are pertaining to specific dates or days of the week. Now, for the last text for our lesson for today is here. So Bernadette, can you read the short paragraph?
Yes, sir. In 2012, my family decided to migrate to the United States. That same year, in December, we left the Philippines, our home country. Living in the US is completely different. I remember that my father and I would always go on hiking in spring. He would always yell at me whenever I'm not yet prepared. Hurry up, brat. We'll leave in 5 minutes. My mom would laugh while saying, You two, be back in a week, okay? Be careful. That has been our annual routine when we're living in a foreign country. And finally, after almost a decade, we decided to come back to our native land. I missed everything about the Philippines. All I can say is that it's good to be back.
Okay, thank you, Bernadette, for reading this paragraph. So, like the previous text that you have read, there is also a preposition of time hidden in this text. But before that, what can you say about the paragraph? Izzy, can you give your thoughts?
There are past and future events involved in the text.
Okay, so the text has both elements of past and future events. So this third paragraph is like a combination of the first texts that you have read, which involves past and future events. So we from this we can already see which events happened in the past. Like the first part of the paragraph, because the speaker is like somehow sharing his or her experience when they were living in the United States. While this part, and finally after almost a decade, we decided to come back to our native land. This indicates that the first part is more like of a flashback. The speaker was somehow reminiscing the experiences that he had when he was living abroad. So in this sentence, and finally after almost a decade, we decided to come back to our native land. He was saying that they are already back after almost a decade. So what else? What else can you digest from this paragraph? Bernadette, can you give your insights?
Sir, there are different time periods in the paragraph.
Okay, very good. Keen observation once again. So can you identify what are these time references that we're talking about?
Sir, in 2012, in December, in spring, in 5 minutes, and in a week.
Okay, so there are, like I said, there are different time references involved. And what you have, your classmate have stated, these are in 2012, in December, in spring, in 5 minutes, and in a week. So what do you think is the preposition of time, which is like involved in these time references that your classmates have said? IZ, can you answer? Where is she?
Sir, I guess IC lost her connection.
Okay, so while we wait for IZ, can you give your insights, Bernadette? What do you think is the preposition of time involved?
Sir, I guess from all the examples or the underlined sentences that I saw earlier, it's in.
Okay, it's in. So it modifies 2012, which is a year. It modifies December, which is a month. It modifies spring, a season. 5 minutes, which is a minute, and weeks. So just remember that the preposition of time in is used to indicate seasons, weeks, months, and minutes. So do you have any question regarding our lesson for today? Okay, IZ is back.
Answer.
Okay, very good. So let us have our activity. So our activity for today is just a piece of a cake, and you can answer it easily. I will be providing questions, and all you have to do is to give the proper preposition of time, which is missing in the blanks of the sentences. So no need to chat it on our chat box. This is just an oral activity. So can you read and answer the first one, IZ? Now you're back. You've lost your connection, but it's okay.
Yes, sir. My brother and I were born blank, so we are considered to be in generation Z.
Okay, so what do you think is the preposition?
I think the preposition the I is in.
It's in. Okay, it's in because 2000 is a year. How about the number two sentence? Bernadette, can you read and answer?
Okay, sir. Mom, please wake me up at oh blank 7 o'clock tomorrow. I think it's at it's a slip on my tongue.
Okay, it's at since there is a clock time involved. How about the number three?
Um, that corporation was established blank 1958. And since it is a year, I think the answer is in, like the 2000 in the number one.
Okay, very good, Icy. How about the number four?
I have a coffee date with my best friend blank Friday. So Friday is a day and on is used with days.
Okay, it's on. How about the last sentence?
There will be a special school program for athletes blank Thursday. The preposition is on as well.
Okay, it's on since it's a day. So very good, class. It seems that you already understand our lesson for today. So do you have any questions or clarifications regarding this particular lesson?
None, sir.
Answer.
Okay, if not, then let's call it a day. Thank you for attending today's class, and I'll see you next week. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Goodbye,
sir.
sir.